Okay, in this video guys, I'm gonna show you how you can understand yourself and others better through astrology. So let's begin. First of all, that is you. That is also you. And that is you in the physical plane. So this is your soul, or rather your spirit, your soul, and your physical body. Is your moon. Ra is your radius, or Ra, the sun god, and L or circle is Saturn. So Isis or is the dot is the moon, Ra is the sun, and L is Saturn. Now make sure you can see that. Right there. Okay. So your moon, your sun, and your rising sign, or the ascendant, because that is the sign of the earth, or the physical sign. There's no sign of the earth. The ascendant is the angle of light that takes care of the physical way you look, your health, etc., the way you see life. So if you want to understand yourself better and someone else's, then you have to understand this, the three main aspects, which is the sun, the moon, and the ascendant. Okay, these are the elements. So we have fire, which signifies action and passion. Then we have air, which is your thoughts and your intellect. Water, feelings and emotions. And then the earth is practicality and stability, structure, things like that. So you have to understand the four elements, where they are. You have all of them in you. Everyone has the four elements. Now, some people have more elements than others. Some people have more fire, more passion, more action, more animated, more energy. People who have more air, they have more intellect, more thoughts, more ideas. You know, these are the thinkers, these are the action takers. Then the water elements, these people that have a lot of water, they feel a lot. They go, they function through their intuition, their feelings, emotional. They connect more through the emotions. And then people who are practical, earth people, they see life more in a logical, practical way that makes sense, you know, in this realm, the earth. Okay, so you have to understand these elements. What they do is simple. It's four of them: fire, air, water, and earth. And once you get this down, then you apply them to the signs. For instance, where is your sun? If your sun, let's say that this is the sun, okay? If the sun, it was in a fire sign when you were born, let's say Leo, okay, then you have a lot of fire, a lot of pride, a lot of energy and action, you know, and you're always moving, doing something because it's a fire element. If your sun was in an air sign, then you have a lot of ideas, you have a lot of thoughts, you have a lot of, you fast with your mind, you can communicate really fast, you can understand people through their thoughts and their ideas, and you can put things together by thinking a lot. That's your ability. Then people who write songs, people who make music, they have a lot of feelings, a lot of water in their chart. That's just one example. And then earth, people who see life through the practical means, money, possessions, anything that's material. Okay, that's what makes sense to them, but not necessarily just money. It could be plants, it could be trees, fruits, anything that has to do with the earth, practicality. So if your sun is here, let's say you're a Taurus, then you see life through security. You want to be secure, so you like to work on getting your things first, and then you feel secure. Then that's how you open up to other people. People who have a lot of water, they rather feel you out first before, let's say, they let you into their lives, things like that. So you have to know what these things, these elements are, what they do, and then you position them in the different planets, and then you can understand the person better. So the sun is the expression, your outer radiance, how people see you when you actually speak and talk and open up. The sun. The sun comes out, everybody goes to work and let's move. The sun goes out, the moon comes up now. Now it's time to go within. Okay, so the moon is your reactions. The sun is the action, outer. The moon is the inner. And then the ascendant is the way you see life, is your physical aspects, is your health, it's anything that's physical. So someone who has, let's say, a fire sun with an air moon and a water rising sign. Now this person looks emotional, they look sensitive. That's the appearance they give, but they have their sun here. They're not sensitive at all. When they really open up, you're gonna see a lot of fire and passion and a lot of energy. But because they look emotional, when they don't speak, when you don't know them, it gives the sense that they are sensitive, emotional, maybe shy, things like that. But the truth is here. You see, this is more like a mask or a way of seeing life, the ascendant, and then the sun is the expression, and then the reaction is air, because that's the moon. In this example, this is the sun, this is the moon, and this is the rising sign, so you can understand it better. So this person looks emotional, is really passionate in reality, but it reacts with a lot of intellect. So you might have a discussion with this person, and then the way they react is with a lot of intellect, a lot of ideas, a lot of logical sense, because it's air. Air is logical, you see? And that's how you can put things together to understand a person better. And this is just 3 examples that I'm giving you: the sun, the moon, and the rising sign. It could be earth, it could be any of the elements, okay? And then you apply the same thing for the planets, the rest of the planets, and that's what I'm going to explain next. All right, so we're now in the planets. Let's see, right there. Okay, so we got, these are the planets, and we're gonna start with the ascendant first, and I'm gonna explain what they mean. These are the glyphs or the symbols of each of the planets. Yeah, perfect. So the ascendant is the physical part of you and your personality. So the way you see life, okay, that filter is your personality, your persona, how you go about things in life. It's the way you see life. So that's your rising sign. You gotta see your ascendant was on what sign. So that's gonna give you your looks, your health, the way you see life, and the way people see you when they don't know you. So that's your rising sign or your ascendant. Same thing. Now, the sun is that glyph, is that little dot with the circle. That is the self. That is the ego. That is the individuality. Well, together with the moon. Pay attention to this word, individual. Dual, D-U-A-L. Dual means two. So the individuality of the person is made out of the sun and the moon. But the sun is the side of you who's going to express that, okay, outwardly. That is the sun. And then the moon is your emotions, your instincts, and your reactions. So a person reacts a certain way based on where the moon was. So think about it. This is like a puzzle. Wherever the planets are, in what sign, in what element, they make up a personality when you put everything together. So rising sign, personality, and your physical aspect, the way you see life. The sun is the ego, the self, how you identify with yourself. The individuality together with the moon and the sun. Then the emotions, the instinct, and the reaction is your moon. Now we're going to go into Mercury. which is this symbol right here, that is your thinking. So wherever Mercury is at, it's indicating the way you think, the way you process information, and the way you learn. So that's what Mercury means. It's thinking, communication, and learning. Next, we got Venus. Venus is sensuality, love, and pleasure. So wherever Venus is at, that is indicating the way that you see love, how you go about loving, how you go about pleasure, how you go about possessions, because that's what Venus deals with. Depending on what sign and what element, you will see how the person sees love. Okay? Now we're going to Mars. The little circle with the arrow pointing sideways, that is Mars. Mars symbolizes energy, it symbolizes activity, and it symbolizes your courage, how you are, how you act, how you go about things, that energy, the drive. That's Mars. What sign is it on? That's how the person takes action. Now we're gonna go to Jupiter. Jupiter, let me see. Yeah, that's good, right? Jupiter is that number 4 looking thing. That's Jupiter. Jupiter is the biggest planet, and Jupiter symbolizes your happiness. It symbolizes your optimism, and it symbolizes your expansion, because Jupiter expands. Wherever Jupiter is at, is going to make bigger, give more abundance. Okay? And then we have Saturn, which is that 5 looking symbol, but it's actually a cross. Okay, and this looks like a scythe, kind of like the sword, weird sword looking tool that the Green Reaper has. Well, yeah, that's what it is, because Saturn is the Green Reaper, and you will see why in a minute. Saturn symbolizes restriction, it symbolizes order, structure, and maturity, and time, because Saturn is time itself. Saturn is Father Time. Chronos, time, is controlled by Saturn. And Saturn has a ring, is the only planet that has a ring, and that means restriction. When you get married, you put on a ring. Restriction, maturity. This is the part of us, everybody has it. We have to mature. So you have to look at your chart. Where is Saturn at? Saturn is teaching you a lesson. It wants you to grow on that area. What house is it on? What house? And what sign? Okay? Now, it gets more complicated. It goes really deep into details once you start getting into the aspects and the angles. But that's for later on. First, we have to understand this in order, okay? Let me go over it real quick again, just a refresh. The Ascendant is the physical side of you, your personality. The Sun is the ego, the self. Together with the Moon makes your individuality. The Moon is your emotions, your instincts, your reactions. Mercury is the way you think, your communication, your intellect. Sensuality is Venus, pleasure, love. Mars is action, energy, courage. Jupiter's expansion, happiness, optimism, expansion, abundance. Saturn is the opposite, is restriction, is order, maturity, and time itself. Now that you know this, you can look at your chart and you can start putting things and connect them together and see why you are the way you are. And you can understand other people as well. This is your blueprint. These guys right here, they are responsible for the creation of matter in this dimension. And they help us. They are here to help us. Okay? They're not here to destroy us. They are here to actually help us go through this mission in life. We came here for a reason. And we have to understand this because everything has an order in nature. We just forgot how to do this. They are there for a reason, and here are the symbols, and there's thousands of years of studies of the stars on how these works. And I'm here to help you understand this better. And it's very simple. Learn what this means, and you look at the chart, and then you will start seeing, okay, now I know why I'm like this. Why do I react a certain way? Why do I think a certain way? Why do I love a certain way? Etc., etc., etc. So, planets, this is what they do. The elements, I explained that before, and then you combine them. You can see why, for instance, Someone who has Mercury on an earth sign thinks very practically. Someone with Mercury on a water sign thinks very emotionally, and so on and so forth. Now, you have to also know that the planets have signs that they like and signs that they do not like. We're going to explain that next. If you have placements in let's say Mercury doesn't like water and or fire, because Mercury likes air and earth. That's where the logical side of Mercury works best. If you have it in a water sign or a fire sign, you're going to have a little bit more challenge when it comes to the thinking, the communication, and the learning process. You do it differently, but that's coming up next. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and if you have any questions, type it down in the comments and I'll make sure to get back with you.